Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're coming to you from the vibrant streets of New York City for the legendary MasterCard Mini 10K, an event that blends elite competition with electric city energy. This year's race promises fireworks as Olympic gold medalist Hellen Obiri brings her world-class speed to battle rising American star Hellen Obiri, who's been turning heads with her fierce front-running style. And let's not forget Sharon Lokedi, fresh off her Boston Marathon triumph and ready to shake up the road racing scene once again. Fasten your seatbelts, it's going to be a showdown of champions, and we've got every moment covered right here. Let's watch the race and see who comes out on top.
No.
And they are off. As you see, Dakota Bopane and Annie Frisbee both had great races here last year. I mean, the thing is we look at all of these women racing, 10,000 of them, right? 72 of them started in 1972. Now we have 10,000. And these Olympians, these Paralympians, they want to be in the mix with all of these 10,000 women because it is such an empowering day. It's so fun.
Hey, Sheldon, you're good there. You're good from over there.
We do in 2024.
As they're making their way down Central Park West, this is so exciting. Just the first few yards of the race before they make the turn into Central Park. And I know we're going to hear a loud roar behind us when they cross behind us at Central Park. You hit mile 2 and then head up the east side of Central Park. Cat Hill is right about there as we're following, and that is your slow, steady incline before you continue the rolling hills of Central Park, and then that 102nd Street transverse, you cut across the park and head back down the west side, and that a nice downhill finish before you make that final turn to the finish line, which we just saw Susanna Scaroni do, finishing first here in the wheelchair division, the only winner of this race in the wheelchair division. Yeah, you could see that final push with 200 meters to go. They make that hard left turn. It's less than 200, I think, but she really went for it, Susanna Scaroni, and I can't wait to hear all about her race. But right now, watching Amanda Vestry, she is really just putting the herd on everybody. She's seeing when people are going to go, but that is sort of the MO of this race. Anyone that wins, when we've watched Sunbury Teferi, the past 3-time champion, she waited until she got into the final stages of this race where she made her push. And I think a lot of that has to do with a lot of these women are coming down in distance from her. And congratulations to Tatiana McFadden. Yeah, we're so happy that she's back. She had a couple years there where she had some iron deficiency and things like that, so she really worked herself back up to this top level, and yeah, she's doing amazing things. Again, I said she just set that world record. Okay, you talked about sitting back and waiting to make the push, but now look who we see here. The bookends on the left and on the right. There's Hellen Obiri on the left and Sharon Lokedi on the right, and Sharon slightly taking the lead here. Yeah, can we just say too, I asked Sharon how she's doing, and she said, "Oh, Carrie," and she is just such a joy. I love listening to her. If you've ever listened to the New York Roadrunners podcast, she's just hilarious. But she said, "Carrie, I don't know where I'm at. I took a good little break after Boston." She enjoyed the win, and then she said, "I've just been slowly working myself in." So she said, "I'm not sure how I'm going to run." Well, look at her up front here, making moves already, starting to kind of just taste the front of this race. But Hellen Obiri, we always know with Hellen Obiri, she is one to watch. She is dangerous. When she toes the line, she's ready to go. We talked about Sharon Lokedi, and she's coming off back-to-back course records. So what have you seen from her with the strength of her, especially this year? Well, I think that Sharon is just really growing into herself as a marathoner. You know, she did not get selected for the Kenyan Olympic team until there was an injury, and then she went to Paris and she was doing this. She sat for a little bit in that race, and then she pushed in the final stages only to finish 4th. Now, a lot of people are, you know, sad about finishing 4th, but Sharon said no. It was an amazing ride getting to be able to be an Olympian. She had a short lead up for it, but I just think that what Sharon is learning from the sport is that she deserves to crack the tape. She deserves to be the one. She is so talented and so good. She's an NCAA champion, and then she is just moving her way through the ranks as becoming one of the best we've ever seen. And speaking of Sharon Lokedi, the Boston Marathon champ who shattered the course record, we spoke with her just before the start of this race. Let's take a listen.
The best out of each other, and you know, we just tried to compete as fast as we could and as the best that we can, and just hopefully, you know, we motivate other people out there. So
you won the marathon in November. You won the half marathon in March.
Yeah.
What is it about New York and these roads that make you race so well here?
I feel like every time I come here, I just go back to like wherever I go, and it's like it gives me so much confidence, and it's just like my career started here 2022 with winning the TCS New York City Marathon, and so every time like it's just I come here, it's like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be like crushing it and all that, and they just fans and everyone out here are just very amazing, and I appreciate that all the time, and you know I hope today's gonna be the same too.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Thank you so much, Sharon Lokedi, the marathon winner, racing today in the mini MasterCard 10K. We wish you all the luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for taking the time.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Wow, such a great lady.
That's such an awesome interview with our Nina Pineda, and we thank Nina for that, and Sharon Lokedi for her time. Not knowing what to expect coming out here today, coming off that, but they are beyond the halfway point at the 3.6 mile mark, and if you look at the 5K split, 15:35 for Hellen Obiri.
And they are on course record pace, everybody. I mean, last year they ran, well, Saberi Teferi, in 2023 ran 30:12. So just keep an eye on that. I know it's all about racing right now, but it's always fun to see a new course record. But yeah, Sharon Lokedi, I think it's great that she's up front. I do think it's nice for her to feel that confidence like she's used to it. If she said that she's not quite sure how she's going to do coming in and how the workouts have been going, this is going to build for her. She's going to feel like I'm in control, I'm relaxed, and I can handle this. Wayne Kaladi, coming off of the track last week, she ran a 3,000 meters in Philadelphia. So she stayed out on the on the East Coast, and she now has that speed, that sharpness that the track gives you. So they're coming from totally different backgrounds here. We have the marathoner on the right, and we have, or looking at on the right on the screen, and we have the half marathoner, but now track star coming up into this 10K to kind of meet in the middle.
The half marathoner who said, you know, lining up against these icons, she knows she has to run hard. And we're talking about Wayne Kaladi, who broke the American half marathon record back in January. But you've seen her look over her shoulder, look to her left a couple times as well, because she knows who she's running against, but she's maintaining.
Yeah, as you watch on the screen here, you see her graphic there. Wayne Kaladi has just done so well. She is a champion. I mean, she's won U.S. championships. She won the NCAA championships when she was in college. I mean, she just loves to race, and that is something that you really need to love. This sport is hard, and we know, all 10,000 women know that it is not easy to get out for a run every day, but that's what these women do. They train hundreds of miles a week up front here. And I know that Wayne Kaladi knows is right behind her. She's even looked a little bit, maybe some clipping behind her, but Hellen Obiri always chomping at the bit. She likes to be in control, but I think she's waiting right now to unleash that kick that she knows she has.
So Hellen Obiri waiting to unleash the kick. Sharon running to the left of Wayne Kaladi. And there they are.
Gatitam Ghebreselassie, again, having a phenomenal year. She ran in Tokyo, then she dropped down in distance and ran a 10K, finishing right behind Hellen over there in England. And then Taylor Rowe, not really, you know, making herself a leader in this race, even though we all know she is. She is so good at such a young age. She's training with the Craigs, with the Puma group, and she is just quietly confident. We saw her in the 10 mile just a few weeks ago where she led and pushed so hard. She isn't doing that here, but she looks relaxed, she looks calm.
When you see these top five running as close as they are at this stage of the race at 4.2 miles, 2 miles to go, is this basically waiting just to see who makes that kick?
I do. I think that we're waiting to see who has that final kick. We know they all have great endurance. All five of these women are coming down in distance. As I said, Wayne Kaladi has sharpened up on the track, but Taylor Rowe, she is one that is a surprise, and I think she's surprising herself. And as they go through this one water stop, this is interesting to see Sharon take a water in the 10K. So she's cooling her body down. You know, that we had talked about this earlier, Sam. This is one of the first races where you really feel the humidity in the spring. And so it is hot. It's not, the temperature isn't so much hot, but your body's getting warm from the humidity. So they're starting to feel that, and that really takes its toll on the later stages of the race.
About a quarter mile ago, we saw Sharon Lokedi wiping above her eyebrow, her forehead a little bit. So yeah, it is humid out here. You know, the air does feel thick.
Yep. And some of these athletes, like Hellen Obiri, are coming from altitude. Sharon Lokedi, they're coming from higher, cooler climates now. So it's interesting. But watch, this is exactly what Hellen Obiri likes to do. She just likes to, she sort of test people. She gets up on them, then she drops back a little bit. She gets up on them. She just likes to play a little yo-yo until she's ready to make that move.
And that's what we're watching right now as Sharon Lokedi is on the right of the screen, Hellen Obiri on the left of the screen, Wendy Kaladi in the center.
But look at Taylor Rowe's face. She's calm. She's relaxed. So is Gatti Tom.
Gatti Tom right there as
Hellen
well.
looks good. Wayne looks good. They all look good.
They all look so strong as they are 4.6 miles in, under 2 miles to go. You talked about the course record, which is 30:12.
Yeah, set in 2023.
It is a humid day here in Central Park in New York City.
I think what's going to happen here is we're going to have to see maybe a Taylor Rowe decide to go a little bit earlier. She is calculating right now, when am I going to go, because I do have these athletes that are so speedy on the track right now, with Wayne Kaladi coming up a distance, but also Obiri isn't on the track anymore, but she has that mentality. I mean, she is a great 1,500 meter runner, 800 meter runner. If anyone knows the 800 meter times out there, she's a sub 2-minute 800 meter runner. So this woman has such turnover, and you can see that. Look at that high knee lift that she has versus even Sharon Lokedi, who's a great track runner as well, but doesn't go back to the track anymore. So she's becoming more of a true marathoner. But it's just interesting, and for me as an athlete, I'm just like, what is going on in their minds right now? What are they thinking? What are they waiting for? And I think that Taylor Rowe is one that's maybe thinking, I'm going to have to start my drive here. I'm in this race. I can win this race. She's got to get excited about that.
4.8 miles in now. You talked about Wendy Kaladi looking over her shoulder, and what are they thinking? We just saw Sharon Lokedi looking to her right. So what is she thinking as she's looking over? Is she checking where Hellen Obiri is?
I think she is. I mean, Sharon and Hellen are very good friends, and we saw in the Boston Marathon they were together until the final stages, as we see a little bit of movement there on Taylor Rowe, trying to maybe make a little bit of a push. But Sharon Lokedi has great speed. She has it over the half marathon, has it over the marathon. She doesn't run the 10K very often, although she has finished second here twice, so you know she's thinking about that.
Just last year she finished second here to Simberi Teferi.
Starting to get more into a straight across line, you know, not necessarily 2 in front, 2 in back. They're starting to have a little bit of pressure here. Wayne Kaladi needs to keep that pressure on, and look at who answers that call right away. It's Hellen Obiri. Does not like anyone to step in front of her.
As Sharon Lokedi dropped back a bit, just over a mile to go, 1.2 to go. This is a 6.2 race. They just passed the 5-mile mark.
I love that just now. I saw Taylor Rowe touch her watch. She's taken her splits.
Okay.
So she is in control. And you know, the reason why I say I love that is I like to see that she is in control of what's going on. She's not running so hard that she's not in control. So for her to be able to say, I'm going to click my watch, she's still with it. She's got it mentally. She's physically maybe doing okay. You can see a little bit of tilt back of her chin. So she's starting to hurt a little bit. But look at how strong Wayne Kaladi looks right now. Hellen Obiri has no pain on her face either, and she still looks good. She touches her face every now and then.
Yeah.
I believe that's a little bit of a prayer that she does. So that isn't just that's not how she runs. That's her doing something internally, and she's getting ready. You can see the real big arm swing. Wayne Kaladi looks smooth. They're putting a little bit of distance now on Taylor Rowe.
Talked about Hellen Obiri, waiting for her to make the kick, and
we are waiting.
Yeah, and we are watching.
We are watching. But as I said, the difference is Wayne Kaladi's coming from the track now. Just last week, little bit of pain there. I just saw a little bit of grimace on her face. But Hellen Obiri dropped down now, has run a 10K, so she's felt this fast injection of speed now on the roads. But look at here. Here we go. Wayne Kaladi a little bit in front. You can see she's making these final pushes. She's got to do it here. She's got to go because she knows she's got to run that kick out of Hellen Obiri.
She is the American half marathon record holder. Now looking to finish first here at the MasterCard New York Mini 10K. Under a mile to go. Hellen Obiri, the 2024 Boston Marathon champ. She is a New York City Marathon champ. She is a New York City half marathon champ. She has won here in New York. We've talked about the head-to-head with Sharon Lokedi, but right now it's Wayne Kaladi and Hellen Obiri.
Two of the best we've seen. You know, Wayne Kaladi's run 3 half marathons in her career. 2 of them she set the American record in. She is so good at what she does. She is great, like Alicia Montano said, on the track, on the roads, and on the cross-country courses. She's very, very strong. But so is the woman behind her. She's won world championship medals on all of it. Cross-country, track, and roads. So let's see what happens here.
I took a look over her shoulder to see who's behind her and how close. And it's Hellen Obiri right there. 0.7 of a mile to go.
Ooh. And this is exactly where we could see at a mile to go, there was a little bit of a jump. You could see a jump in pace, a jump in strategy. People were trying to get some distance. They've already put quite a bit of distance on Taylor Rowe there, our second American, and in 4th, Sharon Lokedi. But Wayne Kaladi has sort of been the one in command for much of this race. Amanda Vestry was out there with her early on in the early stages of the race, but look at how hard. Wayne Kaladi's not just trying to put her final kick on here. She's trying to get some distance between Hellen Obiri, and I like what Hellen's doing. Every single time there's a little surge, she answers that call.
She's staying right there.
But she did take a little bit of a look back. I think she's just trying to see if these two have pulled away, and they sure have. Sam Grotwold, who recruits all of these amazing athletes, said keep the curb to your left. That's all you got to remember. This is one big circle. He said keep the curb to your left. You're going to make that final.
And there it is.
And there is this push.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Keep moving.
Hellen Obiri, a little look back. And we talked about the kick. We talked about the push. As you mentioned, the course record, 30-12.
Yeah, but she made a big move there, and that's what they always say in our sport. When you make a move, you got to make a big one. Sort of surprise everybody. So we're going to have some flags here with 400 meters to go, with 200 meters to go, and each and every flag that Hellen Obiri will see, she's going to wind it up. She is trying to put this final little burst on here, give it everything she has, because we know she can kick. We know with 200 meters to go, she's gonna push as hard as she can. But a couple looks back, she's working really hard. She's using those arms. Dathan Ritzenheim, her coach, Kelsey Quinn, her coach, also Laura Thweet, who's out here with her. All of those coaches are working so hard with all the different elements that she has. She's got speed, she's got endurance, she's got strength. She is such a talent, one we have loved watching on the streets of New York City.
0.2 of a mile to go. Her personal best in the 10K is 30:15.2 to go. 30:12 the course record. 30:15 her personal best.
It's going to be tight, everybody. She's just under 30 minutes right now, so it's going to be tight.
She made the kick, she made the distance, and Hellen Obiri is your leader with room as she comes down the stretch here.
Not going to get that course record, but looks like she is going to get that win. Took a little bit of a look when she made this final turn, but everyone knows now that she is in the home stretch.
And we mentioned a new champ will be crowned today at the MasterCard New York Mini 10K. And Hellen Obiri making the kick, timing it out, as you mentioned, when she needed to. She makes the turn into Central Park, and Hellen Obiri is your
In a dazzling display of tactical brilliance and raw speed, Kenya's Hellen Obiri claimed victory at the 2025 MasterCard New York Mini 10K, clocking an impressive 30 minutes and 44 seconds over the iconic Central Park course. The win not only added another prestigious title to her already glittering resume, but also underscored her versatility across track, cross-country, marathon, and now road 10 kilometers racing. Obiri, a 2-time Olympic silver medalist and world champion, faced a formidable field that included Wayne Kaladi, the rising American star who shattered the U.S. road 10 kilometers record with 30 minutes and 49 seconds finish. The race unfolded as a strategic battle, with Obiri staying tucked in the lead pack before unleashing a decisive surge in the final stretch. Her second half split of 15 minutes and 9 seconds over the hilly terrain was a masterclass in pacing and finishing power. The event marked a historic moment for women's road racing, with the top 3 finishers,
Have you
Obiri,
been sitting
Kelati,
on a
and
smart
Ethiopia's
business
Gadidim
idea
Gebrselassie 30
and need
minutes
to
and
get it
54
online?
seconds, all breaking the 31-minute barrier. Obiri's victory also completed a rare trifecta: wins at the New York City Marathon, United Airlines NYC Half, and now the Mini 10K, cementing her legacy as one of the most dominant distance runners of her generation. Her post-race reflections revealed a humble yet determined mindset. Coming after Boston and Manchester, I felt like, let me try to give my best. For the last 2 weeks, I've been working on my speed, she shared. That speed, and her signature kick, proved decisive. Obiri's win wasn't just about personal glory. It was a celebration of Kenyan excellence, a reminder of the depth of talent nurtured in East Africa, and an inspiration to young athletes worldwide. As she continues to defy age and expectations at 35, her performance in New York was more than a victory. It was a statement.